Good day, fellow Igbo patriots. Good day, true sons of Igbo land. Good day, patriotic Nigerians. My name is Dr. Nwanko Toniwezigwe. I am the president, International Coalition Against Muslim Genocide Against Christians in Nigeria. And I stand there to say that I have no apology whatsoever for standing on this main objective of curtailing the excesses of Fulani herdsmen, bandits, Boko Haram, killing our innocent citizens in a Nigeria where Christians are in majority. I also owe no apology to anyone for saying that I stand today and tomorrow against a country where Christians are in majority. I have a Muslim as president. I also have a vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a Muslim. That is the greatest stab of indignity on the Christian body of this country. I also stand here to maintain my stance that it was sacrilegious as much as it was indeed tragic and treasonable felony for Chief Iwuanyanwu to lead his Ohaneze to go into begging jamboree of the Fulani for the so-called murder of Sardauna of Sokoto by our illustrious son, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nsogo. Iwuanyanwu has tried to deny fabulously, cowardly, but he has not proven the points raised. He has not been able to contravene all those facts raised that prove that the said apology was already in progress. Instead, what Iwuanyanwu went around doing is to threaten people like me and threatening those who revealed this folly act of sabotage against the Igbo people. And I want to say that it is important to point out that the matter of Ohaneze Ndigbo led by Chief Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu rendering apology to the Fulani for the killing of Sardauna of Sokoto, Samadu Bello by Major Chukwuma Nsogo against the background of over 30,000 Igbo souls massacred by Fulani in May, September, and October 1966 pogroms against Igbo is as treacherous to the Igbo nation as it is ignominious, as it is an ignominious stab on the souls of all those Igbo victims of Fulani crimes against humanity, right from the 1945 Jos riot through the Kano 1953 riot to the Civil War, and even to the present, the countless thousands that are being slaughtered daily on account of the treacherous activities, heinous, murderous activities of the Fulani bandits. Call them Fulani bandits, call them Fulani herdsmen, call them Boko Haram. They are all in with one objective: the conquest of this country for the Fulani and for the interest of the Fulani, and for the Fulani to rule, as projected by Usman Danfodio, advanced by Sardauna of Sokoto, and is still being executed today by those Fulani people in power today against the foolishness of our leaders. I listened to Chief Iwuanyanwu's recorded telephone conversation with Dr. Harvard Ugu, in which I alleged that I am not the Odogo of Ibuzo, and for that reason I am an impostor. He went further to mock me for being exiled because I am a wanted person by the DSSS, without specifying the crime I committed. In all, I could only feel sorry for him because he does not know what he's saying. And he who does not know and believes that he knows is a fool, and a fool forever. And I have no apology. If he causes abuse, he deserves it. Because our people say an old man who calls a little girl my wife invites insult from the little girl. What does one expect from a drowning man? Every floating object, including leaves, the drowning man tries to grip with fortuitous aim of saving his life. In the first place, Chief Iwuanyanwu is incompetent in all ramifications to question the legitimacy of my title of Odogwu. Furthermore, if Iwuanyanwu is not properly informed, I am in exile today for taking President Muhammadu Buhari and all his evil cronies to court in 2006. For what reason? Because of their planned jihad and killings of innocent Christians of that country. A project that is now ongoing after my exile. People can now prove me right or wrong. And the reason why I left, and this was the reason why I left my job at University of Nigeria as a lecturer. And you can access this from my case against the federal government, which is suit number FHC-ASB-CS-11-11-2016, of which the respectable Chief Elder Solomon Asemota, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Sam from Benin, and late Professor Benwabeze, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, were my principal lawyers. So what is Iwuanyanwu talking about? If he doesn't know that people have been fighting for the interest of the Igbo people, it means he was neck deep in supporting the Fulani conquest of Igbo land, which is just demonstrated by his own by his own apology skills. Let me make it known to our people that the situation in Nigeria does not involve people who will now be fanning sectional ember or the ember of ethnic superiority or ethnic sectionalism or whatever. When you are wrong, you have to be told that you are wrong properly. And Iwuanyanwu is guilty in this case. Iwuanyanwu should therefore properly be informed that I have a pedigree in the struggle, not just about defending the Igbo interests, which have been proven in Lagos, which has been proven in University of Nigeria, where I stay, my original place of abode, even in my hometown Ibuzo, where I stand out as Odogwu of Ibuzo. I don't have any crime. I don't have any record of crime or scam. So Iwuanyanwu cannot stand up to vilify me in this struggle. Then, if it is so, let him prove further if there was any other reason why I went into exile. If there was any criminal reason attached for the reason of my being wanted by the DSSS. I want to inform Chief Iwuanyanwu that his shameless Ohaneze group, that I am not like Dr. Harford Ugu, who after spitting on the ground, will now lick his peto back. I cannot be intimidated. Those who apologize for saying the truth are nothing but cowards. I cannot report of them. What I said yesterday, I will still say today and say tomorrow without fear or favor. I listened to Iwuanyanwu, Chief Iwuanyanwu's Sunday 26 May 2024 Post Ohaneze Executive Council press briefing undertaken by Undertaker of Lies, one local Igbo online television, Njenje Television, whose anchor, one Mazi Ezoke, is ideology bankrupt. Because if it's not ideology bankrupt, you should have known that Iwuanyanwu is on the verge of catastrophic betrayal of the Igbo nation. Otherwise, you shouldn't have undertaken that particular disgraceful interview with Iwuanyanwu. Because I was wondering, what did he say there? What did he say there? Iwuanyanwu was denying that there was no no apology scheme, that whatever they did was forgery. What we're saying is that, look, you did this, we have the records. And these are the records. This is simply our case with Iwuanyanwu. Deny if the records are true. And here is saying that it is what? Lie. We have blown the fuse of Iwuanyanwu apology project. Because he's a robot of, Iwuanyanwu stands out as a robot of the Fulani oligarchy in operating in Ebola. It's being remote control. If you listen to him, find that he's not a man with authority. He did not speak like a man of authority. He did not speak like a man of intelligence, and he did not speak as a man who has a sense of diplomatic use of words. He spoke as one, somebody who is overwhelmed, like my people will say, like a frog overwhelmed by by water in its mouth. So that was it. Let's even say this: if Iwuanyanwu's lie number one, let's start. Iwuanyanwu's lie number one is that Mr. Isiguzo is my ring leader. I don't know Isiguzo or Isiguzo. I don't really know his actual pronunciation, but let me just say Mr. Isiguzo. I have not met him and I don't know him. I've never been a fan of the Ohaneze group. I've never been part of them, so I was not interested in knowing who and who are in the struggles for Ohaneze leaders. All I know is that anybody who presents himself as a leader of Ohaneze must live above God. He must operate within the principles of collective Igbo interest. Otherwise, it stands to be challenged. Otherwise, it stands to be vilified. Otherwise, it stands to be placed in his proper place as a leader of Ndigbo, either as a leader of God's fortune or as a saboteur. And that is my case with Iwuanyanwu's case. So it is very unfortunate that that Iwuanyanwu should also go about, instead of defending the issues raised, he was telling us that he was saying that people like me who are challenging him, who are exposing him, were the people responsible for the burning of Chief Obiozo's house and even the killing of his son. And so I damn the consequences. I know Biozo right from 1991 when I was a master's degree student and we attended the same international conference in Senegal, in Dakar, Senegal, and there he exposed himself as a tool of the Fulani group. Because I remember when we raised an issue, Nigerian delegates raised an issue of misgovernance of Nigeria. He came out and said we should not say anything against the federal government. And everybody was like, "Who is this man? Who is this one?" We knew how he manipulated himself to ambassador, to a director general of Institute of Africa, Nigerian Institute of International Relations, all because of his bootlicking mentality, bootlicking project for the Fulani interest in this, in this place. So Iwuanyanwu telling us that that we led to the killing of burning of his house. It is nonsense. As far as I'm concerned, apart from the fact that Obiozo has reached the ripe age, over 80 of death, but his death was even a ridance. If people like him who sabotage Igbo people should be going that way, should be dying off, instead of the poor people who are being killed every day for doing nothing. That should make Igbo land better. So I don't damn the consequences. Iwuanyanwu can raise whatever issue sorry, he can talk about. Because I'm also aware this Obiozo was, I am not a fan of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm not a member of IPOB, and I won't be a member tomorrow, but that does not stop me from stating the facts as it is. I may not like him, even though there are a lot of negative elements I dislike in his approach, but I still believe there are also some good things in that, in his project. In spite of that, that will not stop me from criticizing him, Nnamdi Kanu, when it comes. But the fact which I have maintained is that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention today because of the people, people like Obiozo, who has Ohaneze Ndigbo, clearly stated that sooner or later peace will return to Igbo land. And within less than 1 month, Nnamdi Kanu was abducted, from Kenya, organized by an Imo-born coordinator of IPOB in Kenya. So it's not a question of about sabotage. Iwuanyanwu may decide today to go and say he's going to visit. Iwuanyanwu. I was told that Iwuanyanwu just visited Nnamdi Kanu, to show off his image before the people. It's not a question of visiting Nnamdi Kanu. It's a question of addressing the fundamental issues that brought about the IPOB in Igbo land. Fundamental issues that brought about the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. And the fundamental issues that might rise if Nnamdi Kanu is released tomorrow. And that can only be solved by approaching the federal government. It's not by approaching Nnamdi Kanu. We have expected Iwuanyanwu as a man of clout to have said that he was going to visit the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to discuss the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and not to be telling us that he visited Nnamdi Kanu. He was even saying that Nnamdi Kanu is not a member of IPOB. What kind of foolhardy statement is that? Did Nnamdi Kanu, if he says tomorrow, if Nnamdi Kanu says tomorrow is not a member of IPOB, is that a reason why he should be released? Because we know that Nnamdi Kanu is a member of this IPOB group he's leading. So there's no problem of saying Nnamdi Kanu is not. He's a member, he's leader of IPOB, and he has his members. So denying that he's not a member is not the best approach in solving the problems, restricting the problem, militating against his eventual release from prison. What Nnamdi Kanu was even went ahead, Iwuanyanwu went ahead to say that the letter addressed to Meiti Allah, addressed to Chief Ndigbo, which I attached in my former letter, but from Meiti Allah, it's a forged letter. Imagine that kind of trash. It's a forged letter. By the way, the letter was addressed to Chief Ndigbo. Ndigbo has not come out to deny the letter was not, does not belong to him. He has not come out. And the letter has nothing to do with Iwuanyanwu. I learned that what Chief Ndigbo is even doing now is to find out how the letter got to the public domain that eventually reached me. That's just what Ndigbo is talking about. Not to talk about being fake. What are the evidence? What indices has Iwuanyanwu to say that such a letter is forged? The Meiti Allah Secretary General, Engineer Hassan, has not denied it. Ndigbo, to whom the letter was addressed, has not denied it. It is not Iwuanyanwu who is not connected with the letter that is telling us that the letter is forged. Imagine that kind of idiosyncrasy from somebody who calls himself an intelligent leader, who calls himself an engineer, trained by University of Nigeria in Nsukka, and who proudly, puts himself up as a critical thinker, who drags his elephantine size as a leader of Ndigbo, ready to serve. Iwuanyanwu, let me say this, that Iwuanyanwu is also wrong to tell us that the report of apology, first, there was no apology and so on and so forth, no committee of apology. This is an inveterate lie, which only shows the kind of leadership, moral, decadent leadership the Igbo is caused these days. He's telling us that even the report on reconciliation and peace building released by the committee is forged. How can it be forged? And he's telling us that the meeting he held on March 27th was just for the executive council meeting, which is again false, because there's a video clip on that issue. And there's a video clip that even shows that it was major Igbo stakeholders that were invited to be introduced, to be briefed of this peace moves. So it was not an executive meeting. He forgot that this same committee of apology was inaugurated in Abuja on December 7th or 8th or so. A major Nigerian newspaper carried on December 8th issues of December 2023. Even where his Iwuanyanwu made a lot of statements, he could also go back, let him go back to his champion newspaper of December 8th issue, December 8th, 2023 issue, and find out that he inaugurated this same committee. He's now denying that it's not existence. He's now telling us that the same report is false. How can it false? Iwuanyanwu was telling Ndigbo that it's an apology committee report. Imagine that, titled Reconciliation, Peace Building, Reconciliation and Peace Building Committee is forged. Forged by who? Forged by me? Forged by, he said, let us even look at those who were members. And I challenge those people who are members of that detestable committee to come out and denounce their membership. If they are men of integrity, if they are really true sons of Igbo land, if they are really worth their names in their communities, in Nigeria, in whatever places they find themselves, let them come out and deny their membership for that community. We have Dr. Dominic Nemeko Okechukwu, who is the group medical director, Birth Specialist Hospital, Abuja. He is the chairman of that committee. We have Reverend Dr. Joseph Chinenyeze Ibekwe, who is president and founder, Fled International Leadership Institute, and publisher Future World Magazine, who is the secretary. We have Dr. Iwuanyanwu, who is the chairman of International Market Good Abuja. He's a member. Let him come and denounce if such a committee never exists. We have Dr. Neliako, president Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. He's a member. Let him come and deny if the committee is also forged. We have Mr. Chukwuemeka Opalezuku, who is the acting youth leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo. He's a member. Let him come and deny if he's not a member. We have Mr. Patrick Anyanwu, who is special assistant to Iwuanyanwu, placed there to defend Iwuanyawu's personal interest. He's a member. Let him come and speak. We have Chief Mrs. Rita Daniel, sorry, who is the national women leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo, and Senator Ned Nwoko's mother-in-law, the mother of his latest Nollywood wife. He's a member of the committee. She's a member of the committee. Let her come and also say such committee never existed, and they and that so-called project and that so-called project or the report is false. We have Mr. Primus Eze as a member. We have Sheikh Dr. Harun Obonna Aja, Chairman Southeast Muslim Elders Council and Vice President General, Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, and Jamaatul Nasir Islam. He's he is the ambassador plenipotentiary of Sokoto Caliphate and Jeddah projects in Eastern Nigeria, in the whole South, in Igbo land. Let him come and tell us if the committee does not exist or if the report is forged. Then the report further lists the Honorable Chief S.N. Okeke Ochendo, who was chairman of Police Service Commission. He is the chairman of an advisory committee of the Apology Committee. My late godfather, Chukwuemeka Ezeife, was also put there as a member of that advisory committee, including Chief Nze Usochukwu and Chief Padin Joko. These are advisory committee members. So let Iwuanyanwu come and tell us how this report is forged, how the claim that apology is already in existence, how it is false and unfounded. It's not a question of going to the press and then calling people like those hungry online TV groups or whatever, calling JJTV to come and project and profess and then trying to stamp lies, invented lies on the senses of people, on the senses of Igbo people. We are more than that. Furthermore, the administrative office of the committee is located at number 7. Southeast S.E. Asha Drive, Kubwa, Extension 3, Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. And they have their telephone number, 080-56007198 and 080-3326-1363. These are their telephone numbers. And also have their own email, ohanesereconciliation@gmail.com. So how can Iwuanyanwu come at a public place and allege that the enemies of Ndigbo, like me, myself, as an enemy of Ndigbo, has been projecting lies about the existence of such, about the existence of the Reconciliation Committee and that the project is ongoing? Why want I to say that, as a kind of a way of whipping up sentiments, instead of defending this fight, he went ahead to say that people like me want to kill. Who cares? He said, he fought in Biafra. He's not afraid like Obioza. So why are you afraid of being killed? Well, I am not a member of the Onongem, which he knows is one of the sponsors in Imo State. So he should go and talk to those people he employed. I mean, the unknown government, and discuss with them. When he's ready to die, he can tell them to come and kill him, and not to leave people like me. But if Iwuanyanwu dies today, I bet you Igbo land will celebrate his death. and many other Igbo leaders, because Iwuanyanwu's life is not worth more than the life of a single Igbo woman, market woman, farmer, a single Igbo farmer who is being killed in his farmland, who is being kidnapped and slaughtered, who is being extorted of huge amounts of money by Fulani bandits, who is being displaced in his homeland by Fulani people. Iwuanyanwu, if Iwuanyanwu thinks his life is more precious than the life of these people, Iwuanyanwu is a joker. And I want to tell him that it is not going to be business as usual. Igbo land must change, and that change will begin by placing people like him in their proper place. Thank you, everybody, and God bless you.